Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. I have Captain Carberry. We haven't heard from him for a while. He's an M445, which is a Tier 7 French heavy tank. He's on Windstorm and has spawned into the west side. He's headed here into the town. We'll see how Captain Carberry does. He ends up having a pretty workmanlike game. Not amazing, but not terrible. Let's talk about how this goes down. I like this positioning decision early on. It's not bad. You could take this as you are the bottom tier in a 3.57. You could have taken this to the north and been okay. It's got a decent amount of mobility for a heavy and supported those guys. But I think you would have been more or less alone and unafraid because you can see that the Super Pershing and the WZ are not interested in moving up. So as it was, you actually started moving this way to begin with, and I think that's not a bad positioning decision. You're going to come down here and start looking down this road. This is a bit of a difficult spot. You've got this big fence in front of you, so you've got to shoot through it if you're going to do anything to anybody down there. Really, where you're sitting there is not going to provide you any shots. I'm not exactly certain why you're looking right down here, because this is just not a great position. If they come down the road across the bridge, then you'd have shots. And again, not really much of anything going on here. You've got somebody up behind you. Looks like a T-28 trying to get around you right there. And again, this is just a very passive kind of initial position that I'm not really understanding. I think a better idea, I don't particularly like staring down this road to begin with. The best place to do it is over here or up on this corner, side scraping off. You could side scrape off this as well. But you don't want to drive up this road and then cross. If you're going to cross this open spot, you need to do it early and you need to do it back here. You can see that the land falls off a little bit there and covers you up. Keep your turret pointed down there and take a look. As I said, I don't really like this initial spot poking and prodding right there because it's just really easy for somebody to snap a shot off on you. I just tend to lose those trades in situations like that where it's that medium to long range side scraping sniping thing. So here we are at minute 13:15 or so. So we're a minute and a half into it, or a little bit over that, and we haven't really done anything yet. You did notice that there was a situation developing behind you, and you turned around and went to cover that flank. So I think that's actually not a bad decision. But we are now in, what, 2 minutes into the game, and we haven't fired our gun yet. And that's just going to limit you on damage. If you wait this long to start shooting, especially in a game where your team is starting to win like this, you are going to miss out on quite a few hit points. So your technique for shooting tends to be about a medium kind of range zoom in. You don't really zoom in that much, and you do have to be careful at range zooming in too much, because with the relative motion right to left or left to right, you can end up missing shots quite a bit. When he stops, it works pretty well. But you never really seem to zoom in much more, so I'm not really certain what's going on right there. A lot of that is personal technique. If it works for you, it works for you. I think you missed a shot right there based on using that medium zoom in earlier. We got a KV-13. We're going to take him out, and there it is again. Just really having trouble getting the gun on him. I think you auto-aimed right there. I think if you'd have zoomed in a little bit more, it'd have been much easier to put the pipper on him and take that shot. Sometimes that kind of thing is difficult to change, and that just may be your style and what you're comfortable with, but I don't know, I might try zooming in just a little bit more. And now we're moving up. So we've got a couple kills on little guys and near deads. You did swing back and help out on the flank. And now we're going to come up here and take on this WZ. This is a good position. There you go, you got him highlighted. And that's a pretty automatic thing for a lot of players to shoot and immediately back up. Now look at his turret. He's not really looking at you. I think you could have stayed in there and just kept aiming in. And as it was, you backed up and came back in a time for your reload to zoom in and get the shot, but I don't think you ever really needed to back up right there. Once his turret starts swinging towards you, absolutely go ahead and get out of the way. So now we're down to 3 tanks. This is cleanup on aisle 2 time. You're at 1,200 damage. Got 3 kills, which is pretty good on a lot of near deads, although you did help take down that WZ from pretty much 100%. You got a mod 1 now, there goes their low. So you got a mod 1 and a scorpion up there. And this is one of those situations where I would say just charge in and start taking on that mod 1. You're going to come around this corner, you're going to be very cautious. I think you're worried about the scorpion up there, which is fine, but he's going to lay 450, 490. Let's say you even put 500 on you. That's going to leave you 800 hit points. Swing around that corner, whack that mod 54 mod 1, maybe even ram him if you can. And your friends will start taking down the scorpion. It looks like maybe you're looking for him. So you do find him. Again, probably a shot or two left on the table because of all the kind of waiting. Another example here is I would have just come screaming around this corner with that T28, fired at that mod 1 as I went in and go for the ram. You're going to come in here, look for a shot, takes you a while to kind of zoom it in. There you go, you finally get it, and then you back up. Notice, see how you just automatically backed up? Try to get out of that habit pattern because you don't need to do that every single time you shoot. Your next move needs to depend on the situation in front of you, not an automatic reflex to shoot and back up. It's not a bad reflex, and players, new players and players who are trying to get better have that reflex oftentimes. But in this case, it should have been a moving in, shooting as you go, and go in for the ram. And you may even got some more hit points off of that T54 mod 1. So 1700 damage, like I said, a workman-like kind of game, not terrible, but you definitely left shots on the table. And hopefully I gave you a couple examples along the way of where the shots were left. Initial position, obviously, just took you a while to really get into the game. Good decision to go back over since you were already kind of back there anyway to help with the flank. Missed a couple opportunities for extra shots in there as I was talking about moving through against those light tanks. Nice job cleaning up anyway. Good job with the WZ. I think you could have hung in on him a little more than the auto backup and then probably left a shot or even some ram damage on the table at the end. I think you pretty easily could have got to 2,000, maybe close to 2,500 on this one if you'd have been a little more aggressive and pushed in and looked for shots a little bit harder. All right, man. Hope this helps. Hope everybody liked what you saw. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you.